All right. Can we bring this to order, please? Can I get a motion, please, to move into executive session?
So moved.
Council, consultation with legal counsel due to 1 MRS 4056E.
So moved.
Second.
Can we get a vote?
Counselor Gilly?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak? Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Gagnon?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
The vote is 5 in favor and 0 opposed.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much, folks. We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
So moved.
Second. Can you get a vote on that, please?
Counselor Gilly,
Yes.
Counselor DeBrito.
Yes.
Counselor Klepak.
Yep.
Counselor Green,
Yes.
Counselor Gagnon.
Yes.
Counselor McCormick.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
All right, thank you, everybody. Good evening, welcome. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Waterville City Council. There are agendas available on the table in the back or online on the city's website. Consent agenda items are routine items which are voted on in one motion and vote. Unfinished or new business items are voted on separately. Councilors will be given an opportunity for question or comment, followed by citizens who must speak at the podium and identify themselves. Citizens will be allowed to speak one time per agenda item for up to 3 minutes. Citizens who wish to speak on a topic that does not appear on tonight's agenda will have the opportunity to do so during the public comment section of the agenda for up to 3 minutes. Pledge of Allegiance. Okay. First, disclosure of conflict of interest. Anyone have any conflicts of interest of any of the votes that they may take tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on. First thing up tonight, we have a presentation, the community policing update. We have Rob Boulay and Todd Stevens, our community outreach coordinator, here just to give us a brief update. Kicking us off.
Sure. So
Fine.
we're thrilled to have Rob and Todd here tonight. Also here tonight is Major Longley, who oversees their program. Just a great job done by everyone with this program. Todd started in March of 23 and just hit the ground running and has been an incredible asset to the city. And Rob, though he's been with us for almost 20 years, started as the community resource officer in January of this year, also hit the ground running, done an absolutely great job. You're going to hear some great things tonight from both of them. I do want to highlight one program that you're going to hear about from Rob, but I just wanted to speak to you very quickly about it from an administrative perspective because of the partnerships it involves. And so we have started in Waterville a restorative justice program, partnering with the Alphon Youth and Community Center and the State of Maine Department of Corrections. So the Department of Corrections is funding this program through the AYCC. The Major and I have been involved extensively from an administrative level, and Officer Booley has been involved with boots on the ground. This program is really designed to keep kids that don't belong in the criminal justice system out of it. And the goal is to not just make our community safer, but improve the lives of these youth. So very excited to introduce that program to you here tonight. Rob will talk more about it, and I'm happy in the future to get into greater details. But I wanted you to hear that from me because of the extensive partnerships that it's involved at the state level and here with the AYCC. So
Great.
I'll let you talk to Rob and Todd.
Thanks, Chief.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for giving the chance to talk about what we've been doing and going on. To start off with what the chief was just talking about, restorative justice program from the AYCC right now, since the start of it, which was I think around April when they could start bringing kids in, there's around 13, 14 kids involved with it. Talking about the program, that there's been a huge change in some of the kids and the way that their behaviors were and how things were going. And so we've been able to hear some, feedback, how that's going forward, and it's still in its infancy stages. We've been working closely as a team with the community paramedicine, with community outreach coordinator Todd, and also options liaison that we have for our county, which that itself is expanding for us. That allows us to be able to address people's problems as they're happening. And so one of the things I'd like to lead off with there is, just thank you for the city to allow us to use the area out here with partnering with the fire department to be able to do the warming cooling centers. It has been able to help us during those times provide like immediate relief for somebody. And there's been a few cases that have come up where we're able to like immediately provide them with a housing option, to fix their problems. things such as getting into doctors or medical things that they weren't able to prior to, helping them with their mental health, helping them with substance use disorder issues. And so having the localized piece and being so close to the city hall for assistance, the shelter, the WASC, Waterville area, soup kitchen, and being able to just kind of coordinate those things. So we're working together as a team on multiple things, and then individually breaking off and working forward to do some of those. We've been, myself, I've been working, Todd's been working with, he'll talk a little bit more on some other things, but with AYCC and getting involved with the Alpha Boys and Girls Club, not with just the staff, but with the kids and everything. We've been able to go on, like Boston Red Sox field trip, spend time with them. I can't count how many times I run into like families of the kids or the kids and say, oh yeah, you were there, you did that. And so they remember, and they're able to kind of, have that connection, not just with myself, but, other officers seeing that. And then that kind of spilling into the time that we're spending with South End Teen Center and doing things and getting, the kids, to come towards us than run away. I've been working with businesses and I haven't made myself all the way across the city because I have only been here since January, but I'm slowly working areas to find out businesses and what their problems are. Things that popped up is, loitering, soliciting, littering, speeding. I've worked with them to address those. Some are ongoing problems that we're trying to figure out different stages, but being able to identify that. Soliciting, one of the things that we've been able to do is address issues by finding out what is your problem, why are you soliciting, and meeting their needs at that time, giving them warnings, and then at last ditch would be if somebody is not following all of that, then you get a summons and you're gonna have to go to court and deal with it. And with that, we've been working with educating people through different entities that they may go to, and that's worked, I think, to reduce soliciting on that. And walking downtown, spending that time, and being able to reduce it in that way. We are working on, I am working on implementing through the department a blue envelope program. We're close to having that launched, which that will allow somebody who has maybe some special needs in a traffic stop, it'll notify the officer of those needs, be able to provide that, and expanding on that and updating our Wanderer program and any interaction that we may have with somebody who would have special needs, being able to improve information on our side so we can address it. I've been working with other officers with Special Olympics and getting involved with that. I'll let you talk about the medals part of it. And doing raising money, and then some of you guys would have seen, if not when we were running, but doing the run through Waterville. So we're looking at being able to be more involved with things like that and drawing officers into that. Plus, officers will be soon spending more time at the Y to be able to improve things at designated times. I also have been, I've been running the HOPE program for a long time, but I'm also doing that. So this job has helped be able to bring people in that normally wouldn't. Todd will talk about kind of his part of going through, but being able to reach out to people before that I wouldn't have, because it would have been, you come in the police department normally. But now being able to go out, talk with them, use other resources and other entities that we can partner with to encourage them to come in. And that has helped out since January to now. We've done 38 placements, which brings us at a total of 514 placements since 2017. And recently, since doing the job, we've had multiple successes where people were in different parts of their life. Some were homeless, some weren't homeless. And we were able to provide them, with recovery and diversion and all of that. One of them to speak to is a couple of them itself were tenting, doing those city ordinance violations itself. So through doing that and going through, we've actually right now, as of today, as far as I know, we don't have anybody tenting. Everybody has been able to be provided services focused on what they need. There's only been 2 since January that I've actually had to summons. That was just due to their non-cooperation or accepting of services and still violating. One of those 2 charges is going to be dropped on because he actually has reached out and gotten help. We were able to actually immediately that day, even though he was getting the summons, say, hey, we go this route, you don't have to worry about this. He's working, he is housed, he's got services, he's mentally doing well. And then the only one that will still have the summons is somebody who's just completely defiant and not asking for assistance. Yeah, I'll let you step in.
Yeah, you know, as Rob said, it has been a community effort. You know, one of the things that, you know, Flavia herself is aware of is we've been working hard at the soup kitchen in the afternoons with other community partners to establish a resource center, a place where we're bringing the resources to the people to be able to more easily access them. So that's continuing to grow, and as the word is getting out, more community members, business owners are showing up to be a part of that and saying, okay, what can we do to change the culture? It's definitely a work in progress. You know, the work that we do in changing people's path generally is not an overnight success. But we, as Rob said, we have been addressing, you know, those who are struggling, whether they're unhoused or underhoused, and really making an effort to make them aware of what the resources are and providing them with them, making phone calls. I've personally walked outside with people and said, we're gonna call now, we're not gonna wait, taking away that barrier. And I know, you know, obviously we haven't solved the homeless situation, but we're seeing a positive trend in people accessing resources, which is huge. We're working with the schools. You know, I get a lot of calls directly from the school department saying, hey, we've got this situation. Recently helped out with an employee who was trying to leave a domestic violence situation. So, you know, while I think a lot of people assume much of my work is with the unhoused, it really varies. We worked with a young lady, 17 years old, hadn't been to school in 2.5 months. The school calls and says, we've used 95% of our resources, Todd, you're our last 5%. Rob and I were able to meet with her, come up with a plan that worked for her and her mom. She went back to school. I drove there the next day and said, okay, I'm gonna take you to school. She literally lived around the corner. She called Rob and I 2 weeks ago, all excited. She thought she was done with school, was gonna do adult ed, and she said, nope, no, I'm not gonna do that. And I want you to know, she goes, I'm going to Mid-Maine Technical College, and I'm enrolled to do criminal justice. So we're seeing that as we spend time with people, it really is making a difference. So far this year, you know, as we're looking at the work that's being done, from January 1st through yesterday, I've responded to 345 calls for service, and those are ones that come in through dispatch. Those aren't ones that, you know, when the library calls and says, we got someone here that looks like they could use your help. Can you come talk to them? So we really are. There's a high call volume, but I really feel like we're seeing a difference. You know, I will end with Rob and I were walking down the Riverwalk yesterday. Young gentleman who we're both familiar with from working with at the soup kitchen came up to us and said, I'm gonna be your biggest success. He said, I got the job. He's making $20 an hour. He's super excited. He says, I'm working with the case manager you got me set up with, and I got my housing voucher, and I went and looked at 3 apartments today. He said, I'm gonna be driving that Jaguar in a 3-piece suit, and it's because of you guys believing in me. So don't expect overnight change, but it's here and it's happening and it will continue to come. And again, working with the other community partners, community paramedicine, our options liaison, the career center. There's just a variety of people that are working with us to make this happen, and we're seeing a difference.
Well, thank you both very much. And, I see you guys out and about a lot, and I know the work that you do, and it is largely under-thanked. You thank by the people that you're there serving. But, from a community perspective, I wanted you guys just to come, just give us an update. What's going on? What are you seeing? And things like that. And so just all the good work that you guys are doing and the differences that are being made, so that there's no question is, why do we have these? What do these people do? Like, this is an opportunity for you to, I wanted to give you that opportunity because you guys deserve that opportunity because, again, the number of stories, the positive stories that are coming out are just phenomenal. So great work. So thank you.
I got something to add on
Yes.
to. So just last Friday, I was with a client, because what I do is I help the unhoused file for taxes. And I had a client that came up to me and told me that she hadn't had a doctor's for over years. And she said that with one phone call, she got a doctor on the phone, she got her blood pressure checked, and she was so happy. I sat there and I talked to her for a little bit, but she was really happy to just have a doctor. So I really thank you for all the work that you guys have been doing on the ground. It really is showing.
Yeah, if I could echo that, I've wanted, I'm just so proud to live in a town that values this model of community engagement. I feel so proud of the work you're doing. I know it's frustrating. I know it's hard work. I know it requires a ton of patience and compassion and just learning a new way of making a society, a functional society. I'm so very thankful. At first, I think to myself that you come here and you tell us the story. I want you to be able to tell it to the whole city of Waterville. I want everybody in Waterville to hear it. But then I realize, and I've wanted that forever, the awesome work that your department does. I want those stories to get out there, and so more people hear them. But I realized as I'm listening to you that actually you're doing that. The work that you're doing is telling the community about the values that your department has. You're interacting with that community. And so I can't thank you enough and encourage you to reinforce your patience when you have those frustrating days where it feels like you wish you were making more progress. Just be patient and tap into your compassion and realize that there are people out there. You're doing amazing, important work. Officer Boley, Mr. Stevens, thank you so much for coming here tonight and telling us about this.
And I would just end saying, we're in the process of working on, last year we hosted a community collaborative to bring those resources in one central place for the city of Waterville. We're in the process of planning this year's, and we're already over 50 plus people who have said we absolutely want to be there. So be on the lookout for that, and more to come.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Best thing in the day. Thank you.
All right, moving on to city manager's report.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, our Appleton Street Vision Project. We have begun the redesign project. Residents will begin seeing activity between Elm and Main Street over the next several months. For the next week or so, there will be a concrete crew working on the retaining wall across from the library, sort of near the Chinese restaurant, which will bring vehicles and equipment parking in the grass area. Over the next 2 weeks, there'll be some utility work taking place as water, sewer, CMP, gas, and communications do some work in advance of the road reclaiming that is scheduled for July 8th. On July 8th, Upper Appleton Street will be closed to traffic and parking as we reclaim the road. Library parking will be limited to Elm Street and the concourse for that day. from July 8th on through the summer and into the fall. There will be construction disruptions to, of course, Upper Appleton Street. The city will put out notices as far in advance as possible. We'll keep Appleton Street open to traffic and parking most days, but there will be times when neither is safe and we will need to close the street and parking. And again, we'll provide as much advance notice as we can, but really excited to get this project off the ground. Thank you to our city engineer, Andy McPherson, for all of his diligent work here. And we hope to have this completed by October, which is going to be really exciting for that area. An update on the city manager's street tree task force. We met again last week. We had a presentation from Colleen Murphy-Dunning of the Yale School of Forestry. She really gave us some great information about conducting tree inventories and surveys and provided a comprehensive background on how other cities are using various programs and software to map out trees in their communities. We also discussed various tree species and their experience and successful outcomes in urban settings and all that they have to deal with. So we'll begin to devise our plan to develop a good tree inventory and census. That's really our first step, as we look to begin the process, of course, of improving our neighborhoods with tree replanting and maintenance. So some good work happening there, and really a good group of people on that task force now, so looking forward to that. Our newly formed Historic Preservation Commission does have some space for additional members, I believe 2 more members, so if you are interested in Waterville's history and cultural heritage and have a desire to serve, encouraging you to go online to the city's website, fill out an application to be considered for this appointment. This group has done a lot of really great work, as you know, in the last couple of months. And a lot more still to come. So if you are interested, please submit an application on the website, and feel free to reach out to me or Michael Hall with any questions about the position. Thank you to everyone who attended my office hours, my city manager's open office hours last week at the Muskie Center. A good flow of people stopping by the table, so I appreciate everyone's comments. Next session will be July 16th. We'll be back at City Hall for this one, 3:30 to 5:30. And of course, all Waterville residents, local business owners are welcome and encouraged to attend to share their thoughts, views, concerns, complaints, or anything else you'd like to tell me. Our art display that Waterville Creates is doing in Castangaway Square is slightly delayed. It's called Kinetic Flowers. It should be installed sometime next week is the latest update. It was held up a bit at U.S. Customs. It's coming from Australia, so that should be in place next week. Look for that in Castangaway Square. A reminder, our mass notification system is available for sign up. Please go to waterville-me.myfreeawards.com to sign up. You have some options there of what you'd like to receive and what you would not like to receive. Some good information there, so please check that out. Just a quick note, per the council's actions at our last meeting, we will begin our city council meetings from now on, starting with our next meeting at 6 p.m. Instead of 7 p.m., so just note that time change, 6 p.m. Last thing I just want to mention, we are having some masonry work done on the front entrance of City Hall on Castangaway Square. Beginning tomorrow, it will be closed, that entrance, for probably a few days, about 3 or 4 days. So all visitors will be directed to the Front Street entrance of City Hall for access to the building, so just keep that in mind. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you very much. Okay. Moving on to council comments or committee reports. Any councilors have any comments or committee reports this evening? Councilor Gagnon?
I just wanted to bring to council's attention issue that I've heard about from a variety of people, and the chair knows about it also, with what's going on the south end at the mobile home parks. People there are looking at a fairly dramatic increase, again, the second one in a year. And I'm concerned these are not people of wealth, that's for sure. And the increases that they've been seeing, I worry it was appropriate that we had that presentation, because I'm worrying that some of these people may end up homeless as a result of what the rates are going to. I'm going to be getting more information about it. This person was very leery to provide even their name because they're worried about retribution from the owner. But I just wanted the council and the manager to be aware of what's going on down there and how concerned those people are. And they won't speak out much because of their concerns. So they're also been asked, I think, to cover, you knew that, right? Cover about their sewer and water, which used to happen in the past. So they've seen pretty significant increases.
You're talking the Grove Street Park or the part down
There's three of them that are
Farther south.
owned by
The one on
the
West
same
River Road.
company,
Huh?
I think.
The one on West River Road.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all owned by the same guy.
Well, you said the south end, that's why I was, wait a minute, which one?
I didn't
are
mean
we-
that south, I meant southwest.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I just wanted the council to be aware of that, and hopefully I'll be getting some more information about it. It's very concerning. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got a passel of committee reports to give you all. I've been in a bunch of committee meetings. Yeah. The first one to report on was on Thursday. I am the ex officio member for the city, along with Jeff Tucker, on the Friends of Quarry Road board. And that is I've never reported on this group. This was my first meeting with them. I was on the board as a citizen a while ago, a long time ago, but very busy group, and that has far too much for me to completely summarize in just a little thing here. But I'll just highlight a couple of the things. The Friends have raised just under $750,000 since last December for Phase 1 infrastructure plan out at Quarry Road. They've got another about $1.3 million in grant proposals pending with a host of different organizations like the Alphon Foundation, the Harold Alphon, and the Maine Office of Outdoor Recreation. Those two are pending. There was an award from the NBRC, the Northern Border Regional Commission, I think is what that stands for a little over $700,000, and we're in negotiations with KV-COG, trying to figure out how to administer that grant. Anyways, so there's a lot going on at Quarry Road, and there's a significant amount of fundraising happening, and I think it's a good thing that we have someone from the council on that committee, because there was some things that were very clear to me that they were unaware of on the city side that I was able to help them with. So hopefully moving forward, that's going to be a ever increasing relationship. We have good news. The Bill Koch Festival, which is New England's largest youth ski festival, generates, it's a huge economic generator for every town that it visits. It's coming back to Waterville next year. It's coming, I guess it'll be the first week of March, like March 2nd and 3rd, which is pretty remarkable because it was just here 3 years ago during COVID. So this is kind of one of the upsides of having dedicated snowmaking in our facility in the era of climate change, because last year in Vermont, they were skiing around in a bunch of slush. Anyway, so there's that. And then the next committee I was on this afternoon at 4 o'clock was the Resiliency Committee. And that committee just lost Bill Post as our city point person, but we have Michael Hall now, which is an excellent replacement. That guy's impressive. We talked today, we talked about, Michael gave us an update on the EEPG grant. That's the grant where we're putting LED lights in the city hall and in the police station. And the police station should be done sooner than City Hall because they have more unfettered access to Chief Bonnie's home over there. That is hopefully going to be done by the end of the summer, but City Hall, they're hoping for sometime by the end of September, we should have all LED lighting in both of those facilities. So that's really an exciting win. And then we looked, we were trying to review our priorities moving forward. We didn't put in a Renew America School grant, but we brainstormed a a strategy for how to land that grant. That's like a $7 million grant for resiliency and sustainability improvements in the schools. But we have a good plan to bring a proposal in front of, we're going to go through the school board. It's probably the right avenue to take the next step forward for the next funding round there. And then we decided that we're going to draft, I'm going to draft after some brainstorming from the group, a climate action plan for the city that is necessary for a number of different grants, including the community action grant that we had to withdraw from because we were awarded the LED grant. And just some of the brainstorm, I'm just going to read you the 5 little bullet points and then I'll be quiet. In terms of our climate action plan, we wanted to find ways to reduce the carbon footprint of both the municipality and empower citizens to make less carbon-intense choices in their lives here in Waterville in the range of ways, both in terms of their home and their transportation. We wanted to make Waterville more resilient and responsive to extreme weather events. We wanted to bring particular focus and protection to vulnerable members of our society and how they may be impacted by climate effects, everyone from the homeless, the unhoused, the elderly, children, people with mental health issues and substance abuse issues. So those kind of people want to make sure the most vulnerable are being accounted for in climate impacts. And then we wanted to protect and both protect the existing and nurture new natural resources here in the city. So if anybody has anything else that they would like to contribute, any other thoughts that they'd like to go into a draft climate action plan, you got probably about a month and a half before I finish penning it. You can send your suggestions to tklepach, T-K-L-E-P-A-C-H, at waterville-me.gov, and I will happily entertain any of your good ideas or best intentions into our climate action plan for the city. Okay, that's enough. I can keep going.
Okay. Well, no, thank you very much. I appreciate the updates. It seems like a lot, but it's all good work that's being done behind the scenes. So thank you. All right. All right, moving on to public comments. Again, this is an opportunity for citizens who wish to speak on a topic that does not appear on tonight's agenda. This is now the opportunity to do so, and we have 3 minutes to say what you'd like to say to the council. I have one person signed up so far today. Tina, the floor is yours.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Tina St. Laurent. I've been in front of a lot of you a couple times already.
Yeah.
I'm still
Snap the microphone on there, would you?
Perfect. Better? Yes.
Yes.
I'm still here about the same problem, okay? But it's time for us to move forward. I had a meeting with Mr. Morris as well as city manager. You guys both told me you were going to reach out to the state of Maine and you were going to reach out to the city attorney, and I have confirmed neither one of those has happened, okay? I would love to talk to you about the stuff going on over at Country Meadows. I'll tell you everything you want to know. I'm not afraid, okay? I've been advocating for this group for months. One of the issues that I'd like to talk to the board about is the fact that the city of Waterville gave a permit for an expansion on a park that isn't even licensed. And nobody wants to answer. You told me you were going to reach out to the Maine Manufactured Housing Board, but I just confirmed you have not. I just spoke to the city attorney and told him what was going on, and I also explained that you and the mayor were going to reach out, but you have not. This is a pretty serious matter. Countryside was never registered to C37, to RCM, or anybody except Rick Breton, okay? Rick Breton withdrew his license because he wasn't going to get it renewed. He had too many violations. But the city gave a permit to Countryside to expand. Countryside is Rick Breton's old property that is no longer licensed. Country Meadows Mobile Home Community is what is licensed correctly right now. But nobody has an answer as to how you can legally do that. And nobody is even trying to get an answer, which really disturbs me a lot. City of Waterville is up and coming. You should want to know these things. So the second problem I would like to discuss is code enforcement. Okay? He doesn't feel as though it's worth $100 for each home that was put in that park that was unlicensed. That's a problem. He's been doing this for a long time and he's taken in very little money. But he needed another code enforcement officer to go around and go after old disabled people that can't mow their grass.
20 seconds.
That's a problem because 322 homes, a lot of them never had permits, and it's not worth that money. But a disabled person who is elderly gets fined the same amount of money for not mowing their grass. City of Waterville needs to wake up.
Thank you. Patty, anyone online for public comment?
No, sir.
Anyone else in the audience that wish to speak? Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Can I please get a motion to, for the consent agenda, please?
So moved?
Second.
Patty, can I get a vote?
We don't need a roll call.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
All those in favor?
6 in favor, 0 opposed.
Perfect. All right, at this point, can I get a motion to read by title only, please?
Motion to read by title only.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Counselor Gagnon, are you in favor?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to old business, Resolution 124, 2024.
Approve an access agreement, Airport Road.
So,
This, we need to move to adopt.
Move to adopt.
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is anyone here for that? I don't see Mr. St. Peter. Okay. So at this point, we did have received, the city was in touch with the parties. We have received an easement proposal. We've had that looked at by our city solicitor, who has made some changes. And we are going to send that back to them with a possible option for purchase as another option. So at this point, I would like a table to motion to the first meeting in August, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? All right, perfect. Moving on to ordinance 130, 2024.
Please hold. Amend the administrative ordinance, Article 3, disposition of city-owned property.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? This was something that we needed to do. This was the disposition of the city-owned property. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right. We need a roll call for this, please?
That's correct.
Yes.
Counselor Gilly?
Yes.
Counselor DeBrito?
Yes.
Counselor Klepak?
Yep.
Counselor Green?
Yes.
Counselor Gagnon?
Yes.
Counselor McCormick?
Yes.
Vote is 6 in favor and 0 opposed.
Wonderful. All right, moving on to new business, Resolution 132, 2024.
Authorize the issuance of a victualer's license to James Vayu doing business as Meza Incorporated.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay. And I believe we have some folks from Meza here, yeah? Yes. Great. Want to come up and
Give a
say a
pitch.
few words?
Thank you, Yeah, so we're excited about reopening, Melissa and I, and with Tom's help and guidance, the Lebanese restaurant around the block for what was Lebanese cuisine will now be meze. And we hope to do most of the old menu that was there. Melissa's going to do most of the cooking. Obviously, I do most of the talking, but I'll be trying to help as much as possible, yes, and we hope to get the license. That's why we're here.
Great. Well, I know that the circumstances in which it closed, and I know that the community was rather saddened with the abrupt closing. So thank you very much and thank you for deciding to bring it back and continuing to do business here in Waterville. We certainly appreciate it. So best of luck. We're looking forward to it. It's on my calendar. I think, was it June 18th is the ribbon cutting, I think, is July? Is it July 18th? Yeah, I'm sorry. We're already in July. Yeah, June. So July 18th. So yeah, we're excited about that as well. So
Yes,
My daughter is excited.
yeah,
She's thrilled. I hope you had the spinach pies. That was like her favorite.
Yeah.
there we go.
We had a spinach and feta as well, and yeah, I couldn't live without having the fataya, and that's pretty much our first mission was to master those. So hopefully we're close.
All right, great.
Excited.
Thank you.
And what are your hours?
Okay,
You open
so-
for dinner? Or just,
We're gonna be open 10 to 3, Tuesday to Saturday.
great,
We hope to move on after
Okay.
we accomplish that.
Great.
But,
Great.
We'll start there and see where it goes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
And are you doing like an opening prior to the 18th? Are you guys, like, when's the target date? Like, is there a soft opening or
Yes, we're gonna try to open on Tuesday, July 9th.
July 9th? Okay, perfect. Awesome, I'm excited.
See you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I didn't realize that Vayu was a Lebanese name. though.
I'm adopted.
You may, sure, please, come on.
How about Hautrush, okay?
Yeah.
That's right for you.
My name is Tom Nail,
Yeah.
and I own the property. And when Laia passed away, I asked the family if they would allow me to help them reopen, and I would do whatever I could. And they decided after a while that they did not want to move forward. And the reason I did is the building where Mezzer is going to be is about 200 yards away from what you folks know as the parking lot down here. I know it as a place where 35 immigrants came from Lebanon and lived in, believe it or not, 35 homes to the right of the bridge. Whether they came from the Sabog in Lebanon, which is where the Habs came from, whether they came from Matamuchi, where the Jabas came from, or whether they came from the Jazin, where Al Khoury came from, or whether they came from Biat Qassim, where my family came from. They're a huge part of this city. And I'm so very proud that these folks stepped forward and agreed to have me work with them with only my mother's recipes, nothing else. And they wanted me to write them down, and I said, look, don't ask me to write them down. When I would be in the kitchen at my mother's elbow all the time when she would cook, I would ask her how much. She said, well, just, Tom, just put this much in. So I had to improvise when I came up, and we're putting together a Lebanese book in memory of my family. And I've also befriended an Iraqi family that live on Gold Street. Wonderful family. They had me down for dinner the other night. And the mother, Noor, her husband Hassan, her son, her daughter Mariana, and their oldest daughter, who's a freshman next year, whose name is Ula. They all call me Jiddu, and I've met them just a couple of times. Jiddu is Arabic for grandfather, and they can say what they want at times about what's happening with immigrants in this country. But I'm so proud of what's happening with the new Mainers here. Karen Heck doing a wonderful job with them. Again, when these folks came over, they were placed below ship, behind chicken wire. They were in cages. And the people that brought them over, they were German. A ship came out of Hamburg, Germany, called the Potentilla. And they struggled to get here, behind those cages. So I'm very proud of what's happening here. And if I may ask your indulgence for one moment, these gentlemen here talked about what they do for work. As a retired judge, juveniles came before me many, many times, and I heard their stories, as well as Mr. Gilly. He was in the courtroom as my court security. What these fellas hear on a daily basis is from these juveniles: I'm not loved. Nobody cares for me. I have no place to go. I have no clothes. I have no friends. What do you want me to do? When I was on the bench, I saw what these folks did, and restorative justice is giving these kids a great chance. So whenever you see a new Jaguar coming down Main Street, thank one of these guys here. And just some little advice for the young fellas behind me. When I talked with the social workers that were working with these young kids, I had mentioned them, not that I have all the answers, but I mentioned to them that these young ladies and these young boys have many tasks ahead of them. And I looked at the social worker and I says, you have one, and that is to win their heart. If you win their heart, you'll find great success.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nail. Thank you. All right. All in favor? All right. Wonderful. Best of luck. Thank you. Okay, moving on to Resolution 133, 2024.
Approve ratification of collective bargaining agreement for the Waterville Police Patrol Officers Union.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Brian, anything you want to talk about? This is pretty.
No, this is a 3-year contract within the parameters that we discussed, and we're glad to reach an agreement. Thank you to, I'll say, the whole negotiating team on our side, including Bobby Joe Green, HR, as well as all the members of our police department who joined us for that, and of course, to our police officers, thank you. We're honored to have you. We're honored to have your work in our community, and looking forward to approving another 3-year agreement.
All right. Any comments from the council? All right, Patty, can I get a show of hands? All those in favor? All right, moving on to Resolution 134, 2024.
Approve ratification of collective bargaining agreement for the Waterville Police Commanding Officers Union.
Move to adopt.
Second.
All right, again, any discussion?
Same on that one.
Pretty same, yeah, thank yous and whatnot. Okay, great. All right, with that, can I get a show of hands? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, moving on to Resolution 135, 2024.
Approve bid award to ProSeal LLC for the paving of Taxiway F extension at the Waterville Regional Airport.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay. And I don't see Randy. Randy's not here, so no way from the airport. This is the new road or taxiway that they're putting in to access those additional.
Yeah, previously approved here. This is just the paving bid award.
Correct. Okay, perfect. All right, can I get a show of hands? All those in favor? All right, thank you. Moving on to Resolution 136, 2024.
Approve bid award to Covered Bridge Outdoor Construction Corporation for the construction of a 24 by 36 foot haunched slab and curb wall at the Waterville Regional Airport.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay. Again, Randy's not here. You want to summarize this real quick, what they're trying to do?
Yeah, this is just for a garage storage building. I believe there was a hut there that previously collapsed, and it's to replace that. So it's just awarded that bid.
Okay, perfect. All right, can I get all those in favor? Wonderful. Oh, Andy's,
Andy, I don't know if he has something to say.
we're in favor, so
Yeah.
whatever, it's good. Thanks, Andy. All right, moving on to Resolution 137, 2024.
Authorization to apply for federal financing assistance under the provisions of the Rural Community Development Initiative through USDA's Rural Housing Service.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second. Okay, Rebecca, you want to highlight this a little bit? I know that you had sent some
Sure.
stuff out.
Yeah, so this was an opportunity that we became aware of to have some support for a housing study and other initiatives that we're working on. So we were exploring this grant. We learned today that there's several reasons that it's probably not going to be competitive for us. And so I'm going to move that we postpone, well, table indefinitely. Unfortunately, this grant is not going to work out, but I'm sure there will be others that we'll pursue later. So.
Second.
Okay. Can I get all those in favor of tabling indefinitely? Thank you.
Anyone opposed? Counselor Gagnon, are you in favor?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Got my
Okay, with that, can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.